for this class. So can I ask Jahid Ahmed to do the tilawat from his syllabus, please? From how old are you, Jahid?
12.
So if you can, you've got your syllabus in front of you.
No, I'll get it.
But you need to have your syllabus, guys. So
Okay.
you have to keep referring to.
I've got the syllabus.
Okay, so on your syllabus it says memorize Surah Al-Baqarah verse 1 to 17. I'm not expecting you to memorize as of yet, but have you memorized any of the portion of Surah Al-Baqarah from any of the verses?
Yes, from 1 to 9.
So if you wanna start tilawat, don't do it off by heart, but still read it. That was just a question I wanted to know, how much have you memorized? So if you can do the tilawat from Surah Al-Baqarah, please.
1 second. How much are you doing? 1 to 4.
You can do, yeah, just 2 to 3 verses or 3 to 4.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون. جزاك الله.
Jazakallah, Jahid. And can I ask? I know Atif read the hadith last time, but because we don't have any other participants who are following the syllabus, so I want to ask Atif Ahmad again to do the hadith today, and then next week we'll switch over. So Atif, you're 12, right?
No, I'm 13.
So yeah, so
Assalamu
from
alaikum.
12. So last time you did the first hadith. So if you want to do the second one today, uh, with the Arabic, English, and Urdu translation, please.
Okay.
By the way, have you memorized the first one yet?
No.
Right, so that's two, including this one. So you've got 2 to memorize. Okay.
الطهور شطر الإيمان. ترجمة. Cleanliness is a requirement of faith. Muslim.
Atif, could you re-recite this, but this time with Darud Sharif, please?
Can you repeat that?
Darud Sharif के साथ फिर पढ़ सकते हो?
जी.
Just remember, every time you read a hadith, you have to start with saying the Durood Sharif first, and then you do the hadith. Always.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. الطهور شطر الإيمان. Cleanliness is a requirement of faith. Muslim. पाकीज़गी ईमान का हिस्सा है.
Jazakallah. turn to. Okay, there's another part saying Mazhar Ahmad, who I'm not sure if he's from Warsaw.
From Wolverhampton.
Okay, exactly. And how old are you, Mazhar Ahmad, sir?
26.
Okay, exactly. Okay, so Abhi, do you wanna recite one of the prayers from, I don't know, very last group, so from 14 to 15? I think there are lots of prayers.
Yes, just get it up. 1 second. Did you say 14 to 15?
Yeah, that's the last group on the syllabus. So that what I have opened here on my screen. So I don't know if there are any more groups.
Let me just get this up. 14 to
There
15.
are prayers like entering the cemetery. Then you have, yeah, that's the only prayer at the moment, what I can see.
Knowledge. Second.
Or you can pick any age group because it doesn't apply to you. So whichever prayer, there are prayers on every age group. So it's up to you what you wanna read.
Okay, 1 second. Press. I'll just take the first one. Memorize the following prayer with translation and use on appropriate occasions. On seeing one's reflection. Just as we read. Allahumma kama ahsantu khalqi fa ahsin khulqi. तर्जुमा ए अल्लाह खूबसूरत शक्ल शबाहत भी तेरी अता है मेरे अखलाक भी हसीन और खूबसूरत बना दे Oh my Lord, give me good morals like you have given me a good countenance. One more.
No, that's fine. One third class is fine. Okay, Jazakallah. Okay, so I'm gonna ask Murabi to take over from here if he's got any slide prepared for us, please.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Well,
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah for joining. MashaAllah, Jahid, nice background. Sorry we couldn't do class on Wednesday. Inshallah, we'll try stick to Wednesday and I'll
Thursday,
let you guys know.
Thursday 5 o'clock.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, it's every Thursday.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't slept all day. Anyways, so let's prepare a slide as usual. Let me just quickly pull that up. Hey. How's everybody doing? Jahid, how are you?
Good.
Are you playing sports?
Yeah.
Good. Atif, what are you saying, man?
Yeah, assalamu alaikum.
FIFA and that all day.
Nah, Warzone,
Huh?
not all day.
Good.
Warzone.
Keep balance your day, yeah? Make sure you study, make sure you do everything. When your holiday starting though? Hasn't it started now?
They've been on holiday since lockdown. That's a holiday.
Hasn't it officially started now? Schools are officially on some holidays, I think.
I don't know.
Anyways. Franza, what have you been up to? What's everyone been doing?
Microsoft just work really, nothing else really. My work is the most annoying thing on this planet because the timings keep changing. So I don't have a set times every week. Every week there are like different times I have to start and finish work. So that's why on some of the classes I'm not available. I have to like keep checking my rotas and stuff.
Bus driver, man.
Yeah,
Mashallah.
you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do,
Gotta do what you gotta do. That's it.
not what you choose to do, but
Please. Okay, I'm trying to share, but it's not working. What should I do, guys?
Do it now. Acha.
Chalra?
Yes.
Sorry, man. Sorry, me. How'd I get rid of this? Put the yar. Anyways, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Does anyone know how to get? I don't know why it's doing this. Oh, there you go. Can you see that? Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bachon. Okay, inshallah, in today's daras or whatever lesson, Waqf lesson, we're going to talk about different things. Going through the book again, as usual, get everyone to read one of the extracts, and we'll talk about them. So it's from the book, the Waqf book, Essence of Waqf. We'll learn about how being a Waqf is not about, it's all about the money, and how some people who become Waqf, but over time, when they start seeing, the salary of someone who's a Waqf, they get put off and they end up leaving their Waqf, and how we shouldn't be like that, and we shouldn't be money driven in that way. Also, experiencing hardship, something which is very, very important, and something which allows you to get closer to Allah Ta'ala. And all of us have gone through different hardships, and all of us have experienced something in our life where, we've lost someone, we lost someone that we love really a lot. We go through exams in school all the time, and we ask Allah Ta'ala for help, and eventually Allah helps us. So experiencing hardship is again part of being a Waqf, but even more so for us, because our responsibility, as we've learned already in the previous lessons, that is so much. And once we understand that, then all of these things will become easy. And then we'll go through Ismail magazine. We covered 2 of the comics. I think last week Jahid and Matif, you both read it. Team effort. And the week before that, it was Arham. So we'll go through another section of that magazine. It will be on the relationship of the Jamaat with Khilafat. And this is really important for us. We always talk about, beloved Huzur, how we should make a relationship with him. But what's the relationship of the Jamaat with Khilafat, and how both go hand in hand? And at the end, we'll just quiz from last week's lesson as well. Something very simple, but just to remember what we learned in last week's lesson. So as you know, we're studying from the Essence of Waqf, a book compiled, which was a speech of beloved Huzur, and they made it into a book. So we're going through that bit by bit. So Mr. Jahid, can you read the first bit? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Some boys and girls who have acquired a secular education express great enthusiasm and present themselves for service, but afterward, certain obstacles appear, namely that the allowance the Jamaat provide is insufficient, which cause them to leave their works.
Yes. So this, like I said in the beginning,
Yes.
people become very money driven. When you're working, you see your salary going up and up and up, and all of a sudden the Jamaat tells you, we need you to serve in Africa, or to serve as a doctor in a hospital, and realistically they shouldn't ask you, they should just be telling you or informing you. But Jamaat goes down to that level of saying that this is your appointment, can you do it? And many people do, but many people also don't, surprisingly. And that's because they haven't had that understanding, that we're trying to capture now and teach all of you. When you do get that opportunity, and see it always as an opportunity, as a gift that Allah Ta'ala has chosen you specifically to do this job. Sometimes when you've made so much money, all of a sudden you'll see like how much money that the Jamaat will give you. And I can tell you for a fact, being a Waqf myself and being a Murabbi as well, that whatever the Jamaat gives you is more than enough, and it's more than enough to get you by, to provide for your family, to have buy things for yourself, and it really teaches you that this is all you need. You don't need more than this, and the more people want, the more greedy they become, and that's how they lose the essence of being a Waqf. Mazhar, do you wanna say anything about that? Going studying medicine as well yourself. Have you got anything to say add on this?
I think
What does this mean for you? Like, how does this make you feel?
certainly the focus, especially from an early start, should be towards the services or service of Jamaat, and a lot of that will come from how the parents have raised you. I think that's one important thing. In terms of like money is something that is temporary. It doesn't buy you any happiness. It doesn't give you anything. Um, anything. It's just a means by which you can, well, in itself serve the Jamaat. If you do have it, you can serve the Jamaat with if you have wealth. But also, it's just a temporary thing. You don't really.
But yeah, I agree with that. It's temporary, but I do believe also. You said money doesn't buy you happiness, but money is essential. Money is essential, and that's why the Jamaat provides money, because we're a logical Jamaat, we're a practical Jamaat, and we know that you can't survive without money. You can't survive without some sort of provision. That's why we need something to be able to give more. And that's how we should always look at things. Everything that you're given in life, see it as a gift and see how you can use that gift to ultimately go back to Allah the Almighty and give back to Allah the Almighty. And anything you guys are given in life, try to thank Allah so much and try to give more service to the Jamaat. And this is the real gift that you guys can ever get. Whenever you are given any position in Jamaat, and you will be given already, all of us have some sort of responsibility. Even when we're doing our Atfar classes, all of you have some sort of responsibility. See that as a gift. See that as an opportunity to give back to the Jamaat and serve the Jamaat. And never be those people that question, why am I the person chosen to do this? Why am I doing this? He can do this instead. If Jahid says to Atif that you're better at this, I think you should do it. That's not how we should be. We should take any responsibility, whether it's you're in charge of putting the chairs away, whether you're in charge of, selecting the next person to do tilawat. Take that, make it yours. Harness that opportunity and do the best that you can in that thing, because you don't know how good you are, and you don't know how far you'll excel just because of that experience. So anything you get, and the older you grow, when you get to our age, when you get to 30s and 40s, your responsibility will grow and grow and grow, and you'll be put in higher and higher positions. And that's how Waqf should be. We should always continuously progress as far as we can. And Allah the Almighty recognizes all those things that we do. All those times that you guys have, got together in the hall, and you've taught each other to be quiet, and you've taught each other to listen, and you've put chairs there, you've given everyone pieces of paper, all of those things, anything you've organized, Allah the Almighty sees that, and He will only bless you even more when you do that. And if you do that happily, and if you do that willingly, then everything will fall into place in your life. So give the best and give the most effort that you can. Atif, could you read this one, please?
Yeah, sure. To realize the great goal, one must be willing to endure discomfort and sacrifice. Thus, from childhood, Waqfin should be taught that nothing is more significant than Waqf Zindagi, life dedication.
Atif, what does this mean to you, like reading this? What does it mean that we need to realize this great goal? What is the great goal that Azur was talking about?
Shall I just memorize this?
No, just tell me. Just read it again and just tell me like what does it make you realize?
Like the Waqf Zindagi is more important than anything. Like
Yeah. Exactly. And once that's the thing that you have to do. Don't make being a waqf a burden for you. Don't make it be something that's hard for you, because if you do that, then you won't understand what waqf zindagi is. If you put waqf zindagi first and say, look, I am a waqf and I'm ready for anything. Don't be like, I am ready for anything to become waqf. Be, I'm a waqf and I'm ready for anything. And then all of those discomforts and sacrifices that Tazur's talked about here, any hardship that you've gone through in your life will become easier and not harder, and you won't question your waqf after that. So again, really understand.
Assalamualaikum. Marabi Sahab.
it's freezed.
Marabi Sahab.
He froze, don't worry. Give it time. He'll come back.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems he got disconnected.
While we wait for Murabisab to rejoin, can I just ask Walsall Waqf, so that's Jahid Atif. Well, that's it really.
And myself as well.
And you, but yeah, but you're not following any syllabus. You're not in the any age category. That's why I was mentioning them too.
But
Just wanted to ask if you've been memorizing your first any parts like hadith or prayers from your first 6 months. That's what we're covering for now. Jahid and Atif.
Not yet.
Right.
I have a 12 to 13 when I was 12. Like half of it.
Okay.
I haven't done anything yet. Syllabus.
Okay, I think maybe Sab has come back.
Sorry guys, my Wi-Fi just cut off. I don't know why. Could everyone hear me?
Yes.
Sorry guys, I was talking to Mazhar and something happened. Jolo, Mazhar bhai, can you just read this one, please?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Instead of looking at others' worldly success, or that my class fellow, after acquiring a similar education, is earning hundreds of thousands of dollars, while I am not earning in a month what they earn in a day, their thinking should be such that the status of God has been given me is far superior. That the status God has given me is far superior to worldly success.
Mazhar, what do you think what does that mean for you, this quote? Coming as someone who's already gone through your education, you're still doing it, but you've seen people around you, making a lot of money. How does this make you feel after reading it?
I think perhaps touching on something slightly different.
Yeah.
Satisfaction in terms of work is not defined certainly by how much you earn as well. And there's a special sort of blessing that you get from being waqf in terms of being successful, in terms of the work you do. So, for example, there's special blessing for all Waqf in their education, in their worldly education and spiritual education. The second thing is going on to satisfaction. Certainly, the amount you earn doesn't make any difference as to how satisfied you can be with your with how satisfied you can be, but rather that satisfaction has to come from elsewhere, and it can't really come from yourself, but from what Allah gives you, and that's something entirely separate to what other people would be getting. So there's a, in terms of healthcare, there is indeed a satisfaction in looking after people when they're most vulnerable and making a small difference through, of course, others' blessing. And you're just a small individual who doesn't really do much, doesn't really know what you can do, but you, through Allah's blessing, you can make a difference.
Yeah, I think also, like, that's really good input as well. I think also relating to this is, it's not just about money you earn, it's about success as well. Especially like with me personally, just going through my exams, I knew that my grades didn't reflect how good I was. I wasn't as good as what grades I got. I put it that way. And I could see people much cleverer than me and much more intelligent than me getting less than what I had. And I strongly believe that because we have this side of us, this side which Ahmadiyyat always teaches us to make a relationship with Allah and write letters to Huzur, those are the things that really accelerate us ahead of other people, which something that they don't have, and they're very unfortunate to not have that. But we have that. So Jahid, Atif, you guys in school, always remember that just because you see people ahead of you doesn't mean that they're better than you in any way. And your grades can also reflect how you have a relationship with Allah the Almighty. And you might have experienced it already in school. You might have prayed so much for your exams, and somehow you've got better than you expected to get. And you should hold on to that throughout your education. Hold on to this point of every exam, pray a lot for it and also work a lot for it. And you'll see that Allah will give you more than you ever expected. And I remember beloved Huzur, every time people ask him about his school life and how he did, he would always be very humble and he would say, like, I wasn't the best student, but every time I prayed to Allah the Almighty, somehow He got me through it, and He will give me grades which I never ever expected to get. And that's the relationship with Allah the Almighty that we should all have. Pray a lot for the success, and He will take you way further than anyone around in your class or in your colleagues or at work as well. Abir Bhai, could you read this one, please?
Yes, one should remind themselves of the Holy Prophet ﷺ instruction to look upon one less fortunate than you regarding material wealth, and look upon one more fortunate than you in spirituality, so that instead of progression in worldly spheres, one makes effort in progression in spirituality.
Andy, what does this mean, Abir?
What I take from this is that basically you should you should look at people who are better than you in spiritual matters rather than those who are better than you in worldly matters.
Yeah, that's perfect. And again, to the young guys, Jahid and Atif, this is a very important thing. And that's what Abir said is perfect. Always look at the people, people like Huzur, people like in high positions in the Jamaat who really show good examples to you, and try to emulate them, try to become like them in their spiritual terms. But when it comes to wealth, and when it comes to your property and to what you have, look at the people below you, and look at the people who don't have as much, and then you'll think to yourself, look, I don't actually need all of these things. But again, it doesn't mean that you can't have good things. You should have good things, because we pray for Allah Ta'ala gives us the rewards in this world as well. But you have to be humble, and you have to be generous with your money, and generous with whatever Allah Ta'ala gives you. And in that way, you'll progress both spiritually and in the worldly sense as well. Going back to Jahid Bhai. Jahid.
Yeah.
Just read this pink one, please.
Okay. Therefore, particularly Waqf boys who have completed their education should, instead of improving their worldly status, make efforts to progress in spirituality.
ठीक है. Understand, Jahid?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Waqf boys,
Yeah.
they should complete their education and do worldly things like things.
It says instead of improving their worldly status, what does it say after that?
Make progress in spirituality.
ठीक है. So what does that mean?
They should be a good Muslim.
ठीक है. So when you finish your education, concentrate on yourself and concentrate on namaz, concentrate on all those things that we're told to you that you're supposed to do, and try to excel as far as you can in that. Okay. So when you finish your GCSEs and when you finish A levels, make sure that you don't forget your religion and Ahmadiyyat and everything that is taught you, and try to continuously learn. There's no year group or age group for learning about Islam or about Ahmadiyyat. It's a continuous progress, continuous journey right until you pass away. So continuously learn and continuously focus on that, because with school, it's going to finish by the time you're 18, or you're 23 or 25 or 27, depending how long you want to study for. That will end. But your spirituality, your religion will take you right to your grave. So always try to do that. Atif Bhai. Atif, could you read this one, please?
Yeah. The promised Messiah expected each Ahmadi Muslim to have lofty standards. So imagine how much effort must be made by an individual whose parents have dedicated them for the faith before their birth and prayed for them.
So Prophet Islam expected each Ahmadi to have lofty standards. So imagine how much effort must be made by an individual whose parents have dedicated them for the faith before their birth and prayed for them. So guys, remember who started the Waqf scheme? Atif, do you remember?
Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmed.
Yeah.
So which Khalifa is he of the Promised?
Fourth.
Tiga. So there was no such thing as in Waqf didn't really, the scheme didn't exist during the Prophet's time. So with Khalifa Rabi Rahimullah, he started this scheme so that we are able to match what Hazrat Masih Maud is saying here and in many times again about children who are Ahmadis. And specifically, you guys will be on the front line in terms of the best example of what a Waqf or what an Ahmadi should be, or an Ahmadi child should be. And specifically, you guys are so lucky to be in that, because every child before Khalifa Rabi Rahimullah's time didn't have that opportunity. It was only until Khalifa Rabi Rahimullah started this scheme that we were able to be put on the front line, be able to be in this group of special children of Ahmadiyyat, let alone every other Ahmadi, so that we're able to be the people that Hazrat Masih Maud wanted us to be. So again, we need to understand the sacrifice firstly our parents made for us. Use that sacrifice that they made for us to become the best that we can be. And after becoming that, then we can be the people that Hazrat Masih Maud wants us to be. And that way, we will be able to be loyal to our parents in terms of their sacrifice. And we'll be able to give back to the Jamaat in the best way, inshallah. And lastly, Mazhar Bhai, could you just read this last one? Jazakallah.
His Holiness, the promised Messiah (salam), states, I consider it fard, obligatory, to convey to my Jamaat that if you desire salvation and seek a pious and eternal life, then it is necessary that each individual, whether they have heard directly or indirectly, must waqf their life for the sake of Allah.
And could you just explain that a little bit?
So, in terms of gaining true salvation, everyone must dedicate their life towards Allah. And I think Huzur has, in a number of his Friday sermons, always talked about the rights to Allah, rights to Allah's creation.
Yeah.
So, to I suppose to waqf your life for the sake of Allah is to continue to earn or pay. I can't think of the right word, but pay tribute to the not pay tribute, but complete their rights to the Lord and to the people.
Yeah. So yeah, that's brilliant. And also adding on to what you said, Mazhar, as Masimud here, if you look at the words he's saying, and it's much more powerful as well when you read in Urdu. And the guys who understand Urdu will really understand that. When he says, I consider it to be farz to convey to my Jamaat, that he's in a totally different realm to us. He's totally in a different world to us when it comes to spirituality. These prophets that are sent to us, they're already seeing what heaven is like, and they understand what it takes to reach the heights of heaven. And so that's why when he says, I consider it farz to convey to my Jamaat, that if you want to really attain this, if you want to really be in this world of heaven, the best and the most righteous thing that you can do on this earth is to give, sacrifice either your life or parts of your life, as much as your life as you can, in the service of Allah and the service of your religion. And any kind of waqf, and it can be on many different levels, because we are all waqfano in different capacities, and we all work in different capacities, but the door to giving back to the Jamaat is always open. And so Hazrat Masimud is saying that if you want to attain this salvation, which is eternal happiness and a life of true piousness and happiness, the way to directly go there is to stay in your waqf. But alhamdulillah, you guys have already taken that first step. Your parents gave you that opportunity to, right from the start, be in this program. But you guys need to take that and continue that and try to fulfill your responsibilities in the best way that you can. And in that way, inshallah, we will also be able to attain, salvation, which is the ultimate goal, really, of every Ahmadi. So Jazakallah, that's the end of the book section. Alhamdulillah, we're doing really well with the book, and I'm really enjoying talking about it. And I hope you guys as well are learning things new each time. Again, we do Ismail magazine. We just do one section. So if I can ask Abir, could you just read this section, please?
Yes.
Jazakallah.
Can you zoom a little bit, because it's very small?
Are you watching on your phone?
No, it's laptop, but it's still too small.
एक second. I'm just gonna zoom it. So I just wanted to get the pictures of Huzur in there, that's why. But يركزون.
It's fine to share the screen as it is.
Got it?
Oh, yeah, no, it's perfect. A relationship of the Jamaat with Khalifat. Hazrat Mirza Nasir Ahmad Khalifat Masih Salis Anhu said, most of you, sorry?
Remember the from Khalifa Salis and Rabi Rahimullah.
Yeah.
Okay, Khalifa Sani is Raziallahu anhu and Khalifa Awal is Raziallahu anhu.
Okay.
Rahimullah.
Rahmatullah. Most of you understand what is meant by Khalifat in Ahmadiyya Jamaat, but there are those who do not understand. One characteristic of this Khilafat is that has been established by God the Exalted, and He has promised that through this institution of Khilafat, He will manifest the mighty hand of His powers. This Khilafat is supported by God the Exalted. This Khilafat has one entity. Khilafat is a soul and it has a body. The Ahmadiyya Jamaat, the combination of the soul and body forms
Farambai?
Ahmadiyya and the
Sorry,
Jamaat.
we couldn't. I think you cut after the forms of institution. We couldn't hear you. We couldn't hear your voice.
Just
Okay.
quote.
In 1967, a few Christian priests visited me in Copenhagen, Denmark. One of them asked me my position in Jamaat Ahmadiyya. To this I replied that his question was wrong because we take the Imam Jamaat Ahmadiyya and the Jamaat Ahmadiyya as synonyms. It means that the Khalifa of the age and the Jamaat Ahmadiyya are combined to form one body. Khilafatul Mujahidiyat, page 10.
So, and this is amazing what Huzur is saying, that, and especially the last bit, and that's amazing how he's saying Jamaat Ahmadiyat and Khilafat are basically the same word. So you know when you go on Word and you're writing an article, and you have a word, but you want to have a better word, you sometimes right click and you go to synonyms and you find a much better word. But it means the same meaning. So Jamaat Ahmadiyat and Khilafat is the same thing, and they both go hand in hand. And this is really the important thing about what Khilafat is. The whole Jamaat is encapsulated within a Khalifa, and the same thing with the Jamaat. Everything with the Jamaat is found with Khilafat. And so it goes both hand in hand. And so the most amazing thing about anything, just like Khilafat is attached to all of us. And we saw the example a few weeks ago when beloved Huzur, unfortunately, he had injuries caused to his face, and you all saw that, and even to the level where he couldn't perform one of the Jummahs. The whole Jamaat was affected by it because we have this attachment to it. And in the same way, when anything happens in the Jamaat, when Huzur receives letters of someone has passed away, someone has left the Jamaat, or these things are happening in the Jamaat, it affects him as well. So both are going hand in hand. And this is the most special relationship there is out there. And so that's why we as Jamaat members need to connect ourselves to Huzur to have that effect on him. And so when one person rises, he ultimately rises in the eyes of Khilafat as well. And that's why we need to really try our best to help each other in that way. And once in Jamia as well, I remember one person, one of the students asked Huzur that when you were in Ghana, you were working in the fields and you're working with crops. And he said, but now you are Khalifa. What crops are you growing now? And so he said to all of us in Jama, he said, now you are all my crops, you are all my field, and now let's see who will grow and who will not grow. So it was almost like a challenge to all of us that, I've given you everything, I've given you mulaqats, and I've given you advice as much as I could have. I've given you all the water that I needed, but now let's see how much you will grow and how much you've taken that all in and how you will grow. And that goes for all of us as Ahmadis. Huzur continuously every Friday gives us the spiritual water that we need to grow. And without that, we can't survive spiritually. And so take all these lessons that we're teaching you, everything that Huzur's been saying, take it all in and try to better yourself in the best way. In that way, that connection with the Jamaat and Khilafat and you in the Khilafat and you in Jamaat, all of that will grow within you. And you'll see that when you get older, Jamaat comes inside of you as well. And Jamaat is the thing that keeps you the person that you are. So this relationship with Khilafat is so, so important. And we must always remember that. You guys are going through your syllabuses, mashallah. Keep it up. Always have the syllabus in front of you, especially during class. Just always remind yourself that you need to go through the first 6 months. We're trying our best to get to 6 months, the first 6 months with these classes, inshallah. Jazakallah with Farhan Sab, your secretary, Waqf now. He's doing a great job. And just keep it up and let's keep trying to do the classes. Quiz time. Let's quickly do a quiz. At what age are you asked to renew your Waqf? 13, 17, 15 or 20?
15.
D?
15.
Atif, do you concur? Do you agree?
Yeah, 15.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, people.
15 is the correct answer. Remember, when you're 15, make sure. Actually, we'll go to the next question. The reaffirmation should be done in which form? Verbal or written?
Return.
10.
Written. That's right. And last question. The very word muharraran used in the prayer of Hazrat Maryam's alayhi salam's mother means that I have completely separated this child of mine from something pursuit. Spiritual, physical, moral, or worldly.
Worldly.
Atif?
Spiritual. Nah, worldly. Nah, I don't know.
Hey, I don't either.
Go
I'll
for
go
it.
for spiritual.
No, this is wrong. Ah,
Read it again and see what you understand. Then you'll know what word fits into that
Yeah.
blank. Read the whole sentence. Jahid and Atif.
Moral.
I have separated my child from what? What is
physical.
what is her mother protecting her child from?
The devil.
It's one of these options.
Physical.
We were talking about this today as well.
Oh,
Like-
okay. Oh, moral. Atif, say moral.
Atif, what's your final answer?
Moral.
Moral.
Both
Okay.
wrong.
Spiritual.
Worldly. I got it right.
Nah.
It has to be one of those
Right.
four, obviously.
I've got
Guys,
it right.
I'm scared now. I'm scared.
No, you didn't, Jahid.
I said worldly first, yeah, but you can say it wrong first.
Hey. Guys, don't be separated from moral pursuits, okay? Spiritual, moral pursuits, and physical pursuits are good. Worldly pursuits you should put secondary to spiritual pursuits, okay?
Okay.
Jazakallah, good job, guys.
That's it.
Go through, yeah, I know. Inshallah, we'll do better ones next time, but it's just a reminder.
Make 10 questions.
जब time मिलोगे था तो फिर बनाऊंगा. Remember to live a simple life and always think of those less fortunate, to keep yourself humble. And that is the final message. And with that, Jazakumullah, Farhan Sahab, and everyone, Jahid, Kabir,
Hafiz.
Hamza bhai. No, what are you saying, Khudafiz?
Jazakallah Wasim.
Farhan bhai, please.
Come then.
Did you just leave?
Who's left?
ठीक है.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
All good. Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
We okay to leave?